Imagine standing in the cold, shivering, hungry, and alone. Then a stranger opens their door and gives you food, not asking for a single coin in return. What would you do if life gave you a chance to repay that kindness? This is the story of Samir, a poor diner owner struggling to survive, and a mysterious biker who showed up one freezing night. Neither of them knew that their lives were about to change forever. Samir owned a tiny roadside diner on the outskirts of town. The neon sign barely worked, and the tables were old and worn out. But every day he wiped them down with care, serving simple meals to truck drivers, travelers, and sometimes people who couldn't afford much. His life wasn't easy. His wife had passed away years ago, leaving him with the diner as his only source of survival. Business was slow, and winter had made things worse. On many nights, Samir ate only the leftovers from the kitchen so he could save ingredients for customers. One freezing night, with snow covering the streets and wind howling outside, Samir was about to close. The roads were empty, and he thought no one else would come in. He switched off the stove, grabbed his worn coat, and sighed. But just then, the door creaked open. A man stumbled in. He was tall, wearing a leather biker jacket, but it was torn and covered in snow. His hands shook violently, his lips pale from the cold. His motorcycle helmet dangled from his hand, and his boots looked almost frozen stiff. "Please," the man whispered, his voice cracking. "Do you have anything warm to eat?" Samir hesitated. He could tell immediately. The biker had no money. His clothes were rugged, and the way he avoided eye contact told a story of pride mixed with desperation. Still, Samir smiled softly. "Sit down, brother. I'll get you something hot." The biker's eyes widened, almost as if he wasn't used to kindness. He sat at the corner booth, trembling. Samir went back into the kitchen, reheated some stew, added fresh bread, and even poured a cup of hot tea. He placed it gently on the table. "Eat, warm yourself up. Don't worry about the bill," Samir said, forcing a smile. The biker looked at him, almost on the verge of tears. "Why are you doing this?" he asked quietly. Samir shrugged. "Because I know what it feels like to be cold and hungry. Sometimes we all just need someone to care." The biker ate in silence, every spoonful showing his gratitude. When he was done, he stood up, clutching his helmet. "I can't pay you now, but I won't forget this. Thank you." Samir nodded. He had heard those words before. Most people never returned. Still, he didn't regret it. Kindness wasn't about keeping score. That night, as Samir closed the diner, he looked at the empty tables and wondered if his small act of kindness had really mattered. He had no idea how much it would change his life. Weeks passed. Winter grew harsher and business became worse. Bills piled up, and Samir worried every day about losing the diner. The landlord had already warned him. If he didn't pay rent soon, the place would be gone. One afternoon, as Samir was cleaning the counter, he heard the roar of motorcycles outside. Not one, but several. The ground shook slightly as a group of bikers pulled up, their leather jackets shining under the winter sun. Samir froze. He had seen gangs like this before, and they usually brought trouble. He braced himself. The door swung open, and in walked the same man from that freezing night. But this time, he wasn't alone. He was with at least 10 other bikers. Samir's heart raced. Was this the end? Were they here to scare him? But then the biker walked forward, smiling. "Remember me?" he asked. Samir blinked. "You, the man from that night?" The biker nodded. "You fed me when no one else would. You treated me like a human being when I was at my lowest. I told my brothers about you, and we decided it's time to repay that debt." Before Samir could respond, the bikers filled the diner, ordering food, laughing, bringing life into the empty place. They didn't just eat, they tipped generously, leaving more money than Samir had seen in months. From that day onward, the biker gang became regulars. They brought friends, travelers, even strangers who needed a place to eat. Word spread quickly. Samir's diner wasn't just a place for food, it was a place for kindness. One morning, the biker returned alone. He placed an envelope on the counter. Inside was enough money to cover Samir's overdue rent and more. Samir was speechless. Why are you doing this? The biker smiled. Because that night you reminded me of something I had forgotten, that there are still good people in this world. And sometimes, all it takes is a bowl of hot stew to change a man's life. Now let us change yours. Tears welled up in Samir's eyes. For years, he had given without expecting anything in return. And now, life was finally giving back. The story of Samir and the biker is a reminder that no act of kindness is ever wasted. Sometimes, it may feel like your efforts go unnoticed, but kindness has a way of finding its way back, often when you least expect it. So next time you have a chance to help someone, no matter how small, remember this. A single act of compassion can create ripples that change lives forever.